Hey, this is Wolfman Jeff, just letting you know this Saturday, before the Greenville Triumph match, the Chattanooga Red Wolves are hosting a cornhole tournament. Now, it's at 4 o'clock, and I know several people are planning on coming. I know that the Scenic City Alphas are deciding that they're going to go ahead and have their tailgate party there. So, because this is a tournament, it's for charity. And so you get a chance to buy tickets for it, compete in the cornhole, it's throwing something in a hole. It's a lot of fun. You get a chance to go as team, you get to compete. But the fundraiser is for wounded warriors. And that is an outreach that helps some of our veterans who have come home, but have come home with either some injuries. Some are physical, some are not. And they put themselves on the line for us, and so we want to help them out. So it's a great outreach on Memorial Day weekend. How appropriate. So that's the cornhole tournament. That's going to be at 4 o'clock if you want to come out at Stanton Field just before the match. So hope you're there. Hey, this is Soccer in the South with Wolfman Jeff coming at you, and this, my friends, is the Red Wolves Roundup. So, kind of come around the bend a little bit, a lot going on. It's been a struggle, and I gotta say, the struggle is very real for the Red Wolves right now. We haven't had a win since April 20th, and so we're coming to Memorial Day weekend here in the States. That'll be May 25th, Saturday. I will say we've been on the road for most of our matches. We've only had one home match in the past month, and we did have a draw there. We've had two draws, one on the road and then one at home. We've had two losses, and both of them were at the road. We also had another loss out of league play, and that was in the Open Cup. And I have to say the Open Cup match was probably our biggest disappointment of the year so far, maybe our most embarrassing loss. But I gotta say, our biggest loss so far, and maybe the most painful as far as for showing our holes of what we need to work on, was Tucson this past Saturday. We started off actually very well against Tucson. I would say in the first 5 minutes, we dominated that match. We were aggressive, we were pushing it. We weren't having the problems of getting stopped or clogged in the middle. We went ahead, we ran in, and we were trying to create chances. We looked very likely. Then we started making some mistakes. And they weren't mistakes that you couldn't come back from, but they were costly. And both of those mistakes turned into Tucson goals. So we went into the second half already down 2-0 at Tucson. But the part that's the most frustrating was the second half. So as much as Red Wolves showed promise coming out in that first half, that was gone. They looked defeated before they got on the pitch. And Hankinson was willing to experiment, which was good, but he cleaned out that side, and some of the choices didn't work. Actually, most of them didn't work, but what was on the field really wasn't working either. One thing that was encouraging to say, who is one of our new forwards, we got him in from Dalton, and because Dalton's side has just come together, he hadn't really played at Dalton very often, so really he was kind of brand new. Showed a lot of promise, was willing to create chances, get out through there, so I'm looking forward to seeing him again. We still have the same problem, especially in that midfield. We've got some quality, and again, we've got quality throughout our team. Our side, it's not like they're a bunch of hacks. You know, we've got some really good players, and we just got to help them work together, and we've got to have a solution. Primarily, our issue is in the middle. That's where movement is stopping. So we've got to either work on getting around and going off the side, or what we really need to do is to not get bullied and to push into the middle. And what's happening more and more, these guys are getting frustrated, the ball gets through there, and it seems like no one wants the ball. it looked like they did want the ball at the first 5 minutes of the last match, but after that, it's like I didn't want to be the one to mess up, so they just passed it to someone else rather than create something. Something I know Hankinson is aware of. He knows what he's doing. He's working on it. So I do applaud the fact he's willing to make lineup changes. Making all 3 lineup changes before the 60th minute wouldn't be a thing I would have done, but I think he just wanted to see what he had. So I think it was already not looking well, so let's see something else. And that didn't work. Let's see what happens here at Greenville. So that's what happens this Saturday. The new match, Memorial Day weekend, Greenville is at Chattanooga. So one of the things I am encouraged is that Chattanooga right now, Red Wolves, even though we've struggled really hard on the road, we have done very well. We are undefeated at home. We've got our only wins we've had are at home, and the other ones have been draws. If we end up with a draw, that wouldn't be the worst thing, but this is a winnable match. Greenville, they beat us the first time that we played. It was by 1 goal. There was some questionable calls, which that's an ongoing issue I've noticed so far in League One, and we're just going to have to continue to punch through. So Greenville did defeat us at Greenville, but it wasn't by that much, and so I don't think they have quite enough to come to our home and take 3 points. So what do I see it's going to happen? Well, I mentioned before about the issues on lineup. Our defense is actually pretty solid. Wouldn't make a change in keeper. Actually, I think he's one of the highlights of the year. Our defense is actually really good right now, especially considering that one of our top defenders, Dixon, is out for quite a while. Tony Walls and the group, they're doing really well. Middle, we've got some quality there, but I think it's partially chemistry and also numbers. So do you take one of the 4 in the back and add them to the midfield, or do you take one of your forwards and move them back, or do you possibly do both? You have 5 in the middle. I'm not sure if quite 5. I think probably the most likely is to move a forward back. I do know that we are using Beatty right now as a forward, and he is our star. Beatty, I think, has been our most likely to score, and has shown a lot of quality. Actually, midfield is something that he is listed as a midfielder. So in my mind, having him go ahead and start on the midfield as an attacking midfielder, he's got the chops, he knows how to do it. That way you keep Zaid and Cisse there in the front, and when he needs to, Beatty can go ahead and get up front and play that forward position as needed. Also may want to continue to change the chemistry with our midfield. So not only do we need to, 1, create chances through there, but we've got to also add some bulk and not get ourselves turned around and bullied. I don't know if our new hire, if you will, Alex James, is brought in from Park City. Don't know too much about it. I do know he's a midfielder. I know they brought Cisse right in. Will we see him on this match? Will we see him start? If he starts, I do think it's going to be in the midfield, and that'd be kind of interesting to see. So let me know, what are your lineup thoughts? I would like to see more in the middle. Obviously, we need to continue to work on the middle in general, but right now, for the short term, I think we can make that adjustment in numbers until because the system that Hankinson is building is going to take some time. We've got games we got to play and games we got to win. So moving numbers, I think, is a way to do that now while you continue to build your side as you grow them together. So what are we thinking score-wise? Well, we are at home. We are much stronger at home, and Greenville very well could take points from us. They took points from us already, but I don't think that's going to happen. I'm calling for a 2-1 Red Wolves win. Now, I know that sounds like quite a bit. This is if we have a stronger midfield. And if we come out with the confidence that I saw at the beginning of the Tucson match, which our guys have, I've seen it, I saw it a week ago, but we see that throughout the whole match. So a beefed up middle, you've got that confidence. We are at home. We've got the Red Wolf supporters there. You've got Scenic City Alphas. If you're there at the match, even if you don't know the chants, make noise. Make noise. Clap. Let them know you love them. Our Red Wolves are giving us a lot. When they're our home, that's our den. We get a chance. If you're at the match, make sure to know these guys are loved. Hey, let me know what your thoughts are on score predictions. I asked around, and I got a few friends of mine. This is what they thought. My friend Adam, and this is from Soccer Chat, he had 2-1. So it's the same one. I didn't steal it from Adam, but maybe I did. Thomas, not Tom, he also called for a 2-1. And my friend Will had called for a 1-1. And I was kind of going between 2-1 and 2-2. Because there is a chance that Greenville could, of course, draw. But more and more, I'm a little more encouraged that I think this is the time we're going to just turn this around. Again, last month has not been easy. We've only been home once. And that was at bad weather. We ended up with a draw. So, let's see how we do. Beautiful weather. We've got Red Wolf supporters out there shouting, chanting. Come on, you Red Wolves. Hey, this has been Soccer in the South with Wolfman Jeff. Let me know your score predictions. Let me know your expectations for lineup. And if you're at the match, I have to be at a family wedding, so I won't be there. If you're at the match, if you want to send me some pics, if you want to send me some video footage, go ahead and contact me down there, and I'll reach out to you, and maybe I can add it into next week's Red Wolf Roundup. Hey, this has been Wolfman Jeff with Soccer in the South.